welcome back to Journaling Together. I am Jen, and today it's just me. I am setting up my bullet journal. I don't know if you can call it a bullet journal anymore. It's a planner. I use a letter size planner. It's fairly thick and fairly heavy, but it mostly sits on my desk. I take it to some meetings. So this is what I have been doing. I've been doing something where I've been writing out the hours of the day. On the left side, I've been filling out my plan. On the right side, I've been filling out the things that I actually did. And then I also have a couple of notes that I try to keep every day. I have my priorities that I keep in here. This one's not filled out. This is a really bad week. It was so busy. I had so many appointments. I didn't even have time to sit down and fill it out every day. I try to fill out the plan for the next day the night before, and then as I go, fill in what I actually did on the right side. And I feel like that's not quite working. It's using up a lot of space. This is a letter size, like I said, and so it's just so spread out. And I want to try to compact things a little bit more. I also keep track of my goals for the week on like this. This isn't a sticky note. I just use a repositionable glue stick so I can make my note a sticky note. So what I'm going to do this week is I want to move those hours. Each line I do for a half an hour. I'm going to move it here, I think. And then here, I try to track my sleep. How many lines do I use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think if I use 10 lines, I'll be able to track everything I want. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I want it to be as wide as the box above it. And then I do some reading every morning, and I think I need 2, 4, 6 lines for that. But it does not need to be as wide. That's probably wide enough. So I can track that. Yeah, and so I'll end up with all of this space and all of this space for decorating, because I'd like to have pleasant looking pages. It makes me want to get into my book more. And for journaling, writing out things, that kind of thing. So let's get started. things in as I go here. This is my calendar. But what I also do is I have trackers that I'm sometimes more and sometimes less successful at. But I think I have forgotten to print my trackers for this month. So hold on just a moment and trim this off. Oh, there we my scissors are so stickery. There we are. It's gonna be too wide. So let's trim that off real quick. Oh, so much going off over here. But we'll make it work. Okay, let's try this again. Is this going to fit over here? It's still too wide. Why is it still too wide? Oh my goodness gracious. Let's cut it off some more. Still too wide. Cut off some more. Okay, it can't be too wide now. I've trimmed it. I've trimmed it a lot. Oh my gosh, I'm dropping stuff too. Okay, that's gonna have to do. But of course, that's upside down. That's gonna have to do. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Okay, here we are. And this needs to be all the way up at the top, or it's not going to fit. And that'll work. And there we are. Okay, so these are my monthly trackers. I'm looking at this page every day as I'm filling things out for the next day. So all I do is fill in a circle. But I do want to mark out that the first starts on a Thursday. So I'm going to put some marks on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday so that I do not try to fill those in, or I would do something crazy like that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I know I just went off camera, right? Okay. So I've marked out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for all of these. And then when I go to fill in my habit tracker, I just fill in the circle. I usually find some fun color pen. Probably use a gold one this month because I did yellow. And I'll be able to do that. And then all I do, I should probably, yes. I will fill in what each of these are. I'll probably do it down the side here when I go to do my habit tracker. So we've got the month with the habit tracker. And then we have over here, we have the 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. And I'll go out and I'll fill in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I have my rolling weekly here. Each of the dailies will look about the same. Hopefully I will have these boxes match these boxes on the next one, and we'll be good to go. So on Monday, for example, what I would do is, let's get some of this stuff out of the way here. Tons of garbage. Let's clean up the garbage. So on Monday, what I would do is I would look back at what I have to do on Monday. And on Monday, I am leaving the house. But I always start with my morning routine. And that goes to 9 o'clock. And then I have a thing I do every single Monday. I head south. And it takes me about an hour, 15 minutes to get home. So we'll just say from 6 to 7:30 I'm traveling home. And then I have to get my son started on his bedtime routine, and then I have to do my bedtime routine. Hopefully I'm asleep. I'm lights out by 10. And then the whole thing starts all over again, right? On Tuesday, I do my morning routine, but I am not going to head south on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have an orthodontist appointment and a sax lesson. And I have an appointment and there's a meeting. And let's see, that one's only half an hour. That will probably go until 10. But this one I'll have to leave, even though the appointment is at 3:30, I'll have to leave at 3. It'll probably be a half hour long. I won't get home till 4:30. This one, I don't actually have to go to it, but I have to keep track of what my family does too. So I think that goes until, well, they usually get home at this time and they usually have to leave by that time. So there we are. So now I have an idea of what's going on for those 2 days. And what I'll do is I'll just fill in right over the top. I don't know that I'm even going to erase the pencil marks. I may keep the pencil marks there, but I'll be writing in with a regular pen right over the top. So that'll be really easy to fill out. Now, this is a Friday, and this is the day that I do this kind of thing. And then on Sunday, we sit down as a family and we do our weekly goal planning, and we also sync up our calendars. We call that family calendaring. So I will be ready for family calendaring come Sunday. So I think that kind of gives you the idea of how I plan out my week, how I start things out. I will probably go through and finish the rest of these pages and fill in what's planned for appointments and such for this week. And then, yeah. Maybe I'll revisit this when I'm done and tell you how it worked out. Thanks for journaling along with me today. Oh, and if you in the comments would tell me if I'm doing this and then as I go throughout the day I'm making like bullet journal notes in my book. Am I still bullet journaling, or is this just a planner? Is it a bullet journal or is it a planner? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. I think it's just a planner at this point. I'll have to go through one of these days and tell you about how I ended up here, because I've been planning for decades. All right. This has been Journaling Together. I'm Jen, and I'll see you next time.